Hello there, hi, it's Julie Rothall from artyheaven.com here. I am doing a live today because I received a question about my artwork and what some of the terminology meant. So I decided that I would do a live because I thought it was easier to explain than try and write answers and responses, so that I can actually show some of the differences, and I thought it might be useful for other people to share as well. So if you don't know me, I'm an artist and I specialise in really unusual art form called encaustic wax painting, which basically just means I paint with hot molten beeswax. It's a really ancient art form. It's been around for thousands of years. It's got some fascinating history to it, if that is something that, which I won't go into now, but it's, yeah, real fascinating history. So it's been around for a long time, and that's what I specialise in. Very few people paint with it, particularly in the UK, which is where I'm based. And I think it's a real shame. It's the most beautiful art form ever. So, but because it's not very widely known, a lot of questions come up about it. So this live, I'm just going to share a few pieces of artwork here that I've got down below on the floor that will just explain a bit of the terminology and how it works. So one of the questions that came up was, what is encaustic paper? So I'm going to kick off with that one. Oh, the other thing to say as well, encaustic supplies are really notoriously tricky to find in the UK. So sometimes you kind of have to improvise and get a bit creative with some of the supports that we use over here as well. So there's no kind of one specific format. So yeah, hopefully this will help explain that a little bit. Right, okay, so one of the questions was, I've got some pieces down here on the floor. So one of the questions was, what is encaustic paper? And all that is, it is literally, so this is encaustic paper, and it's a specialist paper that is solely used with encaustic wax painting. It's designed to withhold the heat. So it's a thin paper. So some of my pieces will say unframed and unmounted. And all that means is that it's painted on a piece of encaustic paper, and it means that you're going to need to arrange to get that framed, because you're not going to be able to hang it on your wall like this. I mean, the only way to hang this is a bit of blue tack, which isn't, you don't want to be doing that. So that's all that means. Unmounted and unframed and on specialist encaustic paper means that it's on a flexible paper. Same as if you bought a watercolour painting. You would need to get that mounted and framed as well. Hello Denise, thanks for jumping on. Lovely to see you. So let me keep going. So these will need to be framed. So I've got some examples here of where they have been framed. So sometimes they will say, what do I say? It says mounted and unframed, and this is an example, or these two are an example of that. So what that means is they've got a mount around them. All you need to do is find yourself a frame. They usually have a backing board to them as well. Likes of this. So they're in a cellophane protective wrapper, and they're all original as well. I don't do prints, I only do original artworks. So they all come with a certificate of authenticity and care instructions and framing instructions as well, just so that you can have that explained. And then other times I have got they are actually already framed for you. So these are examples where they are framed. Let me stand back and you can see. So as I say, these are all painted on encaustic paper. So that's all that means. Thank you, Denise. These are absolutely beautiful. Oh, thank you. They've just got this real special, I don't know, energy to them. Some of the colours and the lights that come out, I don't know if you can see these over here. So different lights, they will really kind of reflect and react in a different way. So yeah, I love it. I fell in love with it as soon as I saw them. I knew what I needed to do. So getting back on point. So yeah, if it says encaustic paper, that's this kind of style, and you're going to need to frame them. Sometimes they say that they are on birchwood ply, and this is this type here. So whereas these tend to be quite a thin single layer on a piece of paper, these are much thicker. So these have got multiple layers of wax on. They're built up. So what you need is a solid support to accommodate these. So these are built on a solid wooden support. What these will often say is unframed but ready to hang. And what that means is if you turn them over, you can literally just hang them on the wall unframed like this. So and they're like almost like a floating frame then, that they'll sit on the wall. Same with these. Sometimes they've got strings, so say each one is slightly different. But you can obviously add a frame to these if you wanted to. Traditionally, this style of painting doesn't sit under glass. You would actually put a floating frame on so that you can see the painting. That's traditionally how they're painted. But again, I share I put a care instruction thing in with them when I sell them. This piece here, so this is my beautiful big kind of mermaidy piece. This one is also painted on the same birchwood ply. So this is, I can work to any size. I was just starting to go really large scale, and then I needed to move out of my studio, which was a shame. So I currently only work to this size on commission. Yeah. And again, this one, you can just literally hang it on your wall. So it's got a really thick, suspended frame. You can hang it directly, knock it over. So yeah, you can put it directly onto your wall, or again, you can get an open frame to go with that. I think I've got one more. Yeah, so this is just basically how they tend to sit on. So you can just literally sit them on the wall as is, or add a frame. So what's Denise saying here? I had no idea that, turn this around. I had no idea there were so many options. So yeah, there are so many things that you can do with this style of painting. And as I say, because supplies are so tricky to get hold of in the UK, there is an awful lot of improvisation on supports and boards. It's definitely becoming more available, which is brilliant. But yeah, as well, if it's not clear, please do just message me and ask me the question, because I'm really happy to help. Sometimes I'll hop on and do a live like this because it helps other people. Other times I can just reply and respond directly in a messenger for you. But also I think because it's not a very familiar medium, particularly in the UK, there's a lot of questions that people don't know. And there's a lot of things that I assume as well that people will know, but they don't necessarily. It's one thing when you work with something all the time. What's clear to you isn't necessarily clear to other people. So I'm going to turn this around one more. What's Denise saying? Sorry, I'm just quickly reading the smokes. Smokes, that's Denise saying, holy smoke, amazing. Oh, I see someone familiar. Yes, that's where have we gone? I'll turn around my lady here. So she's got a really amazing, powerful energy. She just kind of takes over the room. And when she is kind of hanging it up on a wall, she just oozes this just aura about her. So there we are. So this is a bit rough and ready. But I just wanted to explain the difference between when paintings are painted on encaustic paper, which are going to need framing, versus birchwood ply panels, which can literally be hung on the wall as they are. There's lots more I could say. Lots more I could say. But I'll try and keep this short for now. But any questions, feel free to just pop in the comments below and I'll come back and have a look later, or, message me. Really happy to help. Anyway, thank you very much for those of you that are watching live or catching up on the replay, and for all your lovely comments. And I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.